Good morning. Today is December 6th, 2022, and the time is now 9:02 a.m. I'm Kevin Day, Chair of the Custer County Board of Commissioners, and I will call this meeting of the board to order. And if you would join me for the pledge. Mr. Cameron, could you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
During the bill leading, I have to go to 33 and a third.
Wait a minute, you're supposed to be on 78.
He is
78.
He is just a little,
Yeah.
he is just a little quieter now, though. So. All right. Could we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Day,
Present.
Commissioner Kanda,
Here.
Commissioner Flower,
Present.
and Attorney Clint Smith,
I am present.
and Clerk to the Board Kelly Camper present.
And audience introductions.
Just me, Jennifer Cree, the admin to the commissioners.
Okay, and I see we might have a few online. If anybody goes to speak later, if you could identify yourself for the record, I'd greatly appreciate that. Okay, are there any amendments to the agenda?
I have none. In here.
None from my either. No minutes. Commissioner items. We'll start over here, Mr. Kanda.
Not much since last meeting, except a bunch of work on the airport grant. We'll see. Here's more from the airport boys on that that's going on. For the fuel farm.
Okay. Mr. Flower.
Thank you, sir. Let's see, I guess since our last BOCC meeting, Thursday, December the 1st, of course, we had the BOCC workshop with the Planning Commission, attended Mike Halpin's swearing in that afternoon. Budget workshop on the 2nd, which of course we all have attended these activities. And continue to assist with recycling. They're scheduled to have a board meeting tomorrow. I will be out of town. I'm sorry, their workshops on Thursday, or their board meeting, I believe it's on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday at 1, and I'll be in Denver. So I talked to the vice chairman who will be running that meeting. He had a couple questions about things, and really a question maybe for you as well. He had called me about what the rules and regs would be on an executive session for a volunteer board. And I told him it was my opinion that they could certainly have one. They didn't have to fall under the same guidelines and stuff that we do as an elected board. But I also said, if you want to discuss anything about a personnel issue, you need to invite that person to be there. And he indicated it really wasn't about a person, it was more about a position. And I thought they were probably okay to.
Yeah, I'm not even sure they need an executive session.
Well, they just weren't comfortable about talking about a couple of issues about a position, because obviously there's a person in that position.
Yeah, they don't qualify under the statute as a local government agency. I mean, it's just an appointed volunteer board, so they can have whatever kind of executive session.
Yeah, it's the first time it's really come up for me to have a volunteer board, a non-governmental entity.
But they're not subject to the same requirements that elected government officials are.
Okay, so I told him, as far as I knew, they should be fine having an executive session, but if you're gonna get together to complain about somebody, that somebody probably ought to be invited.
It would be better to do it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're gonna come to you about it, then that's something else again, but if they're just gonna discuss it.
Yeah, we're trying to iron out some things internally.
Okay, that sounds fine.
And that's probably enough for today, sir.
Alrighty. Basically, I've been to the same meetings you guys have that you brought up, and I will be attending Florence Fire again tonight. Outside chances. Wetmore will be brought up at that, but I have no guarantees on that. So. Attorney Smith.
Well, I was at the workshop, the planning commission workshop, of course. Worked with Dorothy on, and Dr. Brown. There's one issue that may constitute a serious public health hazard. And Dorothy seems to be on top of it right now. Dorothy, our planning and zoning director, for folks who are listening in. She's already met with the property owners, and we may be right on the verge of issuing a cease and desist order to shut this place down until they come into compliance, because there's raw sewage on the ground right now. But I won't go into any further details about that. I know Dr. Brown's very concerned about it. I found out that you are closing the jail as of, or the sheriff is, I guess, but that's officially, it's your job to provide a courthouse and a jail and everything. And I understand that the jail is, maybe that's not for public discussion yet, but.
Well, I think your
In the budget.
statement would be more accurate if you said that you understood we were considering closing down.
Considering, well,
We certainly have not made a decision.
okay.
That's why we wanted it on the agenda.
I apologize. I can have a resolution prepared if you think you're prepared to vote on it at that, the December 15 meeting. I talked through email to Under Sheriff Smith, and I said, I don't need to reinvent the wheel on this. If we're going to contract out to do this in the future, find me an IGA that's already being used, and we can certainly just go off that. But since it's the county's obligation to provide the facility, I think this IGA needs to be between the counties
Right.
and not just between the sheriff's
Exactly.
department.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah, to your point real quick, I thought about that as well. I don't think an MOU even comes close to covering what we
No,
need.
this
It
needs to be
an
an
IGA.
with all the terms spelled out, the
Right.
dollar amounts and everything else. So I'll have something tentative depending on where we're gonna go, and just maybe something to look at.
And we're gonna need a schedule of transition, because you just can't cut and run probably. I don't know. That's up to the sheriff.
We'll just, we'll do like they do in California and just
Yeah.
turn everybody loose. I mean,
Yeah, let them go.
Problem at all.
Yeah. The DAs are all gone.
I would probably be surprised if we actually voted on it on the 15th. I don't know. It might,
We just need
this
to,
IGA is gonna be a complicated, complex thing, and I'm not sure it's fair to think that we can have that done in 9 days.
Well, then I'll put that on the back.
I don't know.
Just ask
You're talking
for you
about
guys'
the
opinion.
honorable ornery,
Well, that's true. He, not that he's not capable.
Well,
but they do need a schedule. We gotta figure out how we're doing it. We can't just vote on it and then say what
Yeah.
day is it effective.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I wasn't sure. I guess I shouldn't have talked about it without getting a little more information from you, but only other thing I've been working on is drafting a press release for the planning and zoning office to let the public know we are going to start cracking down on the violation that I'm talking to Dorothy, and she's been going through her files and finding a lot of cases where there were letters sent out saying your property's in violation, contact this office, and then there's no follow-up on it. So there, apparently there's some violations out there that have been going on. People were ignoring those letters. So she's trying to get it all together, and it's going to be a lot easier with her new computer system, where she can have, once that's up and running, she'll have a way of tracking all these things where they don't get lost. So But I am gonna work on a press release that will, before it's released, we present it to you and to our PIO and everything, see how it looks. And that's all I've got.
I have a question, from Lisa.
Yes.
Had a discussion with Dorothy that something came up that we believe is not addressed in the planning or in the zoning resolution. And I would ask if you would follow up with her. And that is this idea of adding an additional dwelling, an additional residence on a single parcel and hiding behind the breezeway skirt.
Okay, I'll talk to her.
Yeah, there's
Is that-
no language, there's no definition in the zoning resolution about a breezeway and.
You mean apparently making it permanent.
Oh,
That's what it
There's-
is.
Well, it's considered as a single dwelling because
Right.
the structures are attached.
That's right.
there's been
Okay, yeah, I can see that could be. I mean,
yeah, so there's a permit that has been issued. To build a one-bedroom. In my opinion, a one-bedroom home. And connect it with a covered breezeway and call it an addition. I'm not sure. That fits the letter of intent from the resolution. But there's no language in there that would
Okay,
currently.
yeah, I'll.
If there's
touch base
not,
with Dorothy.
I think we need to have the planning commission look at that in their revision of the. Zoning resolution. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Okay.
I guess I might just make one comment as far as the jail situation. I think the IGA is gonna take some time, I think, because it'll also have to go to wherever we try to house those.
Right.
They gotta approve it.
Who will also have to prove it. That being said, though. With that not in place, even with that not in place, it might be a decision to move forward with that if we decide we need to do that as well, so. So that may be something to discuss. I don't know, I may not be coming at it from the right angle, but I guess that would be kind of in your ballpark, Clint, how the procedure would look if we move that direction.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't anticipate us voting to do that until we have. Well, I guess the IGA could come subsequent to us voting to close down the jail, but I'm not sure it'd be responsible.
I think the way to do it, we're gonna vote on, we would like to, the options to shut it down. We need a vote that we want to proceed with building the schedule, the IGA.
Move the whole.
Move forward. That's all we need to vote for
Okay. Well, I'll see.
on the first meeting.
What Under Sheriff Smith, Sheriff-elect Smith, comes up with as far as IG, so we have some IGA, so we have something to work off and we can go from there.
Yeah, and your point's well taken. If we're not entering into an IGA with the sheriff's department, we would be entering into it with the county commissioner.
Right.
Because we're providing
So
housing,
we need to be into their agenda as well,
we're providing the jail.
and that might be a back and forth,
Yep, for sure.
so.
Morning, sir.
How are you? Good. Jennifer, do you have anything for us this morning?
Just
Sorry, I
wanted
caught
to-
you at a busy time.
Just wanted to let you know that I went to the health fair committee that will be held on April 15th. And gonna start working with, as a PIO, trying to get some promotional stuff out. But we are going to be doing save the date, and they will be looking for some volunteers. Who might be interested in participating and helping with the health fair. It's the first time they've been able to do it since 2019. And it's something that's really great for the public. So, just so you know, that did that, and since you all didn't say it in your commissioner items, just we ended up getting notice from Virginia that the LATCF first half has been received. So. Woohoo.
I wrote it down too, and then,
So, that's it.
okay, thank you very much. It brings us to public comment. If anybody has anything they would like to comment on that is not on the agenda.
Deb Adams has her hand raised.
All right. Deb, are you with us?
Good morning, sirs. I am trying to follow up or find out what the status is for Custer County and your so-called affordable housing. I don't know if it's a board, a commission, whatever. I'm doing research on SB 22-232, which is a bill that Colorado has passed. It's in motion. There are meetings scheduled this month, and I'm just trying to figure out who to reach out to in the county who is part of affordable housing to see if Custer County can get involved in this opportunity.
Why don't you be clear, Debbie, on what that means so the public got the record that what is the opportunity so that specifically, I know what it is, just you probably ought to say.
Well, it's getting involved in this bill that okay, it's a pilot project that Custer County is well suited to. I believe that economic development did I'm looking at things on my computer. They did a housing needs snapshot in May 2022. So it's just if affordable housing or the housing crisis, which has impacted Custer County as much as many other places, how can Custer County get involved in this opportunity to participate in the pilot projects?
And I would speak, Deb. I am a member of that Attainable Housing Board. The person that chairs that is Charles Bogle. And I believe Steve Laswell is on that as well.
Lieberman, Hanson.
Lieberman and Hanson are on there.
Is that Mike? I don't know Lieberman. What's the first
Mike
name?
Lieberman. Mike
Yes.
It's not Lieber, it's Liebman.
Liebman. It's
Oh,
Liebman.
Mike Liebman. Okay, okay. And
Sorry
then
about
what
that.
was the other name?
Maxwell Hanson. I'm just looking at the
Max
minutes.
Hanson is the new member from UACOG that sits on that board. He is on the housing part of UACOG, which is the Upper Arkansas Area Council of Governments. And he is a great addition. And I think he will be able to kind of jumpstart some things as well.
Is his last name again?
Mike
Hanson.
Maxwell Hanson, Hanson.
And he is available through UACOG in Canyon City. So
Non-voting.
he sits on there. He is a tie-breaking vote.
Okay, so
Okay.
Kevin, so you're the liaison for this committee
board.
or, okay, all right,
Yeah.
so then I am going to forward you some information that I received and just see if there's anything that we can move forward with to benefit Custer County. So thank you for that information.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
According to my records, Bogle, Laswell, Liebman, and Bob Fulton are the members of that.
Okay,
Housing.
okay, so noted then.
And I
Thank you.
apologize for not responding to your request for that information, Deb, sorry.
That's okay, Tom. It hasn't been 24 hours yet. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Okay. Not seeing any other hands up, so we'll go into staff reports.
Gotcha.
Gary, I believe that would bring you up first, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, sir.
Chair.
Seems like yesterday we saw you.
are you?
There you go.
Could have stood up, I guess. There you are, sir.
I know.
I feel like I fall out of that thing every time I lean back.
Not a lazy boy.
I know. Fall asleep if I'm not careful.
How's things been going?
Good, but yeah, not a whole lot to report.
No Christmas firewood going on.
No, I mean, we're pretty good on firewood right now. We're kind of staying on top of it. Tom caught a guy that was over there the other day.
Pilfering.
No, actually, he dropped off a
brought
dump truck load of firewood. I didn't even know it was coming. So yeah, that'll kind of be added to an emergency stash throughout the winter. But yeah, besides for that, I think we're staying ahead of it. So that's good. Yeah, the only other thing I just wanted to thank Tom publicly for going down to Pueblo with me and grabbing all of that food that we got.
You guys got more than you bargained for.
We got a lot of food. So there ended up being, I think, like 65 veterans and or their families that were able to utilize that. And I was able to keep almost half of it, at least some of the non-perishable items back into the basement for Christmas as well. So I'll do more food giveaway the week before Christmas. So
The
thanks for.
distribution worked out pretty good. They came in.
It did, yeah. I mean, on super short notice, and yeah, so everyone kind of came in and got what they needed. So thanks for going down there and doing that. I know you didn't have to. So but, yeah, it's important news that I have.
Okay,
Quick question, if I may, for him,
yes,
unless you were gonna ask, sorry.
I was just
I thought
going
you were gonna
to,
say-
a general question, not necessarily for him, but, I guess we haven't heard anything as far as we search for the vehicle.
No, we have not.
No,
I'm assuming you're aware that we have in the budget, the proposed budget, $20,000 for a new vehicle. Not a new vehicle, a vehicle. Yes.
no, I wasn't. I
Okay.
hadn't seen.
We
that
had a
yet,
budget
so.
meeting last Friday
Okay.
and asked about that, and Braden said yes, that there is 20,000 in the proposed budget
Okay,
for a vehicle.
so how does that process work?
Well,
Just because I've never been
yeah,
around, that's happened.
we have not approved that budget yet, but
Okay.
once we do, that basically authorizes you to look
Start looking
for a
at buying.
vehicle.
Okay. All right.
20 and under if nothing else changes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank
That's
you.
right. Good point. I was gonna ask about the time that you've been here. Have you, VSO, anybody connected to VSO, used the office that's in the southwest corner of your building?
Has anybody used it?
Yeah. In 5 years, I've been in there
The
once.
coroner's
Oh,
office.
the coroner's
No,
office or the
southwest
interview,
Yeah,
the,
Oh, Southwest.
yeah.
no,
Veil, it's really for an interview. room.
no, I've,
One on the side.
yeah, they've come in there to like remodel. And that was it. I've never seen it
Okay.
officially
Okay.
used by.
And I'd like to follow up with sheriff's office about that.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they haven't. They just never, when I've been there, I've never.
What are you
seen it
thinking?
utilized.
Well, we're desperate for some office space. That's all there is to it. We've got to find some additional office space. I don't know that room's ever been used since I've been a commissioner. I was told what it was dedicated for. I'll follow up and see.
Yeah. No, the only
You guys
time
don't use it.
we've used it a few times, I don't know, probably a year ago when we were doing a lot of Veterans Trust Fund appointments and just be kind of like confidentiality and some of the things that were discussed out in the open there. And there was a lot of people sitting around in the lobby. So we used that room. And then I was kind of told by the sheriff's department to like maybe not use that room. Because they said like everything's recorded in there 24/7 all the time.
And so I was like, well,
Recording
I was like, well,
capability.
my vets aren't gonna like that if I
No,
have to
they-
tell them that we're recording these conversations. So we stopped using it in its entirety, so that we don't, yeah.
Business in the body as well.
I move we accept your report so we can discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah, motion on the floor to accept the VSO report for the month of November as presented. Any further discussion?
Did you get a second?
Yes.
I did.
I mumbled it, sorry.
So is this more or less than last November? Sarah, do you have any idea?
More or less than last November. I could pull it and see.
I'm just curious because you said it sort of played out in October, but you've been pretty busy. You got 119 served, you said.
Yeah,
Appointments, you only had 22.
which is pretty low. And I mean, over, you know, you have a holiday that's thrown in there.
Yeah.
That's thrown in there too.
weekend.
So, yeah. So, yeah, with the Friday and the holidays, so appointments were slightly less.
I'll just look real quick.
You have the official one to sign, Ken?
Yes, I do.
VSO from last year.
And some of those appointments are down too, because I've, you know, without an adequate vehicle, some of it I've stopped just doing my own travel to do that. So I try to do a lot over the phone as much as I could. You know, it's difficult in a county like this with people that just don't have internet access or email or scanning capabilities.
So I have a quick question along that line.
Mhm.
You're aware that Canyon's building a veterans clinic, right?
No.
You're not- To serve this area, and it's like, and it takes the place of, what do you call it, primary care in this region, including us.
Mhm.
And they got the capability of 22, I forget how many doctors have got, one or two down there, but they're gonna take people in,
Mhm.
not to stay, it's not a hospital.
Okay.
And it's like a clinic where you got a cold or a headache or you're, you know, there's whatever, you know, and you get referred to a hospital later or whatever, but. So that's something you probably ought to look into and figure out how to get, they're building, it's
Yeah.
new,
And it's a VA center?
yes.
Okay. All right.
It's a, built by Fremont County. And it serves the counties that are attached to Fremont County.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to know. I mean, the VA is primary, you know, they have community care too, so
What they said.
you can kind of go to any doctor you need to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it would be, I guess, closer than Pueblo and some other places.
is.
So, yeah, I think anybody goes to Denver. But yeah, I'll look at it and kind of get the lowdown on it, and get any information that I need and push it out to the vets that I think would utilize it.
November report for 2021, there's 105 served. To answer your question, Bill.
How many?
105.
Yeah, I thought it was
It's up
pretty
to
high.
you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion on this? Okay, I have a motion on the floor to accept the VSO report for the month of November. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye.
I've got to come up with a new signature.
Not fancy enough.
No. What's wrong?
No.
You're not gonna ask me that in a public meeting, are you, sir? All right, buddy, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
It's hard to forge.
I actually watched you back there and I thought, yeah.
Keep up the good work. Well, you know, it's when you're in the military, you sign so much stuff, you finally just get to a point, it's just a scribble. Right? I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
was that your scratch?
That's my scratch.
A five humped snake, or a snake going over 5 rocks.
Yeah, it looked like it, yeah.
I couldn't forge it, no.
I wouldn't even try. But like, can you duplicate it? Can you replicate it?
If you don't think about it, you can do.
Yeah, exactly. Put me on the spot.
Clint, is Vince outside by chance?
Nope.
No, I didn't see anybody out there.
Well, okay, we got Braden's not coming in.
So I would move we, we're at
Braden,
I believe that
Human Resources.
Well, and we are ahead of schedule, so,
I don't
Let me
know if
go
we need a
ask-
motion for that, but
I think Braden will be with us quite a bit, a little
should we
later.
just postpone his?
He's got any more to
That would
report?
work. Which would bring up Vince.
would you like me to call Reggie and see if she can come down?
You ought to call everybody.
Sure, if she can come and then Vince could follow her at his normal time.
Reggie may not be here yet.
Road and Bridge is working on my road, so
Don't haul them off. Stay out there.
I may have to have a visit with him over that.
Hey Reggie, it's Jen. We're running ahead of schedule. Could you come down? Thank you. Bye-bye.
Gotta brace Dorothy too.
That she might be up at 10 rather than 10:15.
For sure.
Oh, well, if Vince gets here, then, this wanted you to be on notice. So.
Dorothy's
Vince-
on, she'll
If
know
Vince
we're ready
comes
for
in, then, you'll be after him, but if not, then we may call you, just so you know. Thanks, bye.
Thank you. Come on in.
Wow, way ahead of schedule. How
Good
are you?
morning.
Good morning. Sirs, how are you?
Good.
It's good to see you. Oh, well, thank you.
Hello, 4-H leader.
Stood up
Good to see you.
Put a splinter in my
Uh-oh.
hand,
Oh,
off the handle of the chair. Though, that's the case. Falling apart here.
Yeah.
Well, good morning.
good morning. How are you all?
Good.
Good. All right, I assume that you all saw the report I sent over. Do you have any questions? No?
I do not.
It's been
I
a good, since our last meeting, our effort has just been on community outreach and enrollment, and we had an event at school and had a great turnout. We had about 150 people attend. Saturday night, we have some new families enrolled in 4-H, which is great. That was our goal.
What's total up to now? You're shooting for 150 or something. You said
No.
at the beginning.
You're setting my goals higher. I like it. I like it.
Okay, so
Right.
60.
Right. Right now, we have 65, and then we have a lot of people in the process. They're pending or waiting payment or final processing. So we are doing good. We are moving forward to get to where we need to be. So that is a good thing. We are working on making sure everyone is re-enrolled. If you are a member of 4-H already, you have until December 31st to re-enroll for the year, and then we take new members until March. So that's our kind of our line on the wall is March to get all of our new folks enrolled. And that gives them plenty of time to get the projects done in time for fair in July. We've been working with Custer County Library. We've got a couple of programs set up with them that we're very excited about. We'll be doing the gingerbread house decorating contest for the month of December, and then we'll be working on a STEM project, bridge building, following the gingerbread contest. That's to get more kids involved in other projects. Typically do those on Friday when they don't have school, so they can come and have free time to do that. And I met with the folks at the school, the administration, and we are looking at getting some extension programs into the school for the gifted and talented kids. We have some programs that will transfer nicely and give those kids an opportunity for some advanced.
So is that like a extra credit counts for college, or is it just an extra?
No, it's just the school does not have the funds to adequately provide programs for those kids who have been identified as gifted and talented. There's about 20 of them. And so this is an opportunity where Extension can take our services in and give those kids the programs that they are not receiving right now. And so we can do some outdoor things. We can do robotics. We can do cooking. We have 40 programs to choose from. We can go in.
It's like a curriculum that the CSU has.
different programs, and probably what we will do is we won't teach all of the program. We'll just go in and do a few weeks of each one, just give them a taste and learning based on where they're at. And then we have Cattle Women's College next week in Pueblo. It's open to everyone in the community. And at the end of next week, we have Ag Business Management Training up in Denver. It's a 2-day conference.
So much had an asterisk by that one for how much you're looking forward to it.
Did I have an asterisk?
No.
Your resume.
So you're planning on attending that?
I am.
that-
Yes, yes, I am. So
I know how much you like sitting in meetings.
I know, I do love them. Love sitting in meetings. So, and then we're always looking for volunteers. So if you hear of anyone in the community who would be interested in volunteering for 4-H, then we're always welcome to have people who want to come in and lead new projects and teach kids their passions.
No, a while back, when you set that 150 goal,
Right.
you were also talking about getting a club fired up on the other side of the hill here. In
Yes.
the Wetmore area.
Yes, and we have all the paperwork for that. We finally have the EIN for that. So we are still in the process, but all the official paperwork I now have. So it's just a process, it's just a time now of getting it approved. I had a lengthy discussion with the leader there, and they know what the standards and expectations are, and there will be a couple of kids from Wetmore that are driving up here currently. They'll just be joining that group, and then there'll be maybe 6 new families that will join that group.
Are you
So that's still in the process.
prepared to divulge who that leader is going to be yet or not?
I'm waiting on a background check to come back. So once that background check comes back and it's confirmed, then we will let you know.
Perfect. Any questions about your budget? How are you feeling about that?
I feel grateful that you guys gave me the budget that was the same that we had.
Have we even thought about it?
Yeah.
That's projected.
Okay.
Projected. As you know, I've only been in this job 3 months. I do not yet understand all that is possible or all the directions that we want to choose. So I'm grateful to at least have the starting point that you have given me to see if we can maximize that this year.
Yeah, I think we can talk to Braden some more about that. I'm a little confused now that I look at it. Your current actual budget expenditures are more than your proposed budget, so I don't know what that's all about. It shouldn't be, well, it could be offset with the former director's savings in salary versus the expenses that we covered on the interim.
Thought we talked about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see there's 14,700 in there for contract labor. I'm not sure what that would represent.
I had that question too, and I wasn't on that distro list, so I just actually got that. It was forwarded to me just 30 minutes ago, so I haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to
Yeah,
process that yet, so I'm not sure.
yeah, okay.
Also not sure.
Braden asked us to ask the staff today if they had any questions or concerns, bring those up or reach back out to him.
So I'll do that. I'll
He's
send it
available,
out.
you can talk.
Yeah, I'll see. what that
Oh,
is.
the budget is on our agenda today.
Okay,
So.
thank you for pointing that out. Yeah.
Me too.
Good, all right.
We're golden.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
See you later. Thanks.
We will, it's just a meeting.
See.
All right. You only had one. I did speak with Braden this morning. The statute said that if we do not certify the budget by December 15th, then 90% of the appropriated funds from the previous budget year automatically go into effect.
You can go ahead and be.
We're gonna approve it.
I'm next.
You're up.
Well, Vince,
Hello, how are you?
Really, we don't do urine analysis in here. Public health.
You don't? How are you?
That's a public health issue. How are you, buddy?
Fine.
Good.
9, I'm trying to think which one 9 was.
Well, this
Well, that's
is,
a John Deere.
yeah, it's John Deere. But it's also going through the cats and whatever else is going through. This is a sample out of our fuel tanks.
did you dredge the bottom of it?
No, that come out of number 10, when we had to put a new pump system on it. That come out of the filters.
So the filters are working,
Yeah, but it's
but
not quite good enough.
That's,
Not quite enough filters.
I would
That
say
rate.
that there have been issues down there in the past year and a half to 2 years to where
bigger those tanks.
machines. die
The
on road
diesel's
and they have to
10
go out change their
and the
fuel
gas is
filters to get
6.
them going.
Yeah, it's a-
Yeah, Kevin, I need you to sign this. This is for the water for next year, please.
So what you're really saying is that fuel is representative of what
Not
what
going
was
in the
not
end.
filtered out of the fuel tanks, the underground fuel tanks.
Is that?
Yeah, that's,
So this is getting through into the filters into the tractors.
yeah, in equipment.
That's a lot.
That's pre-equipment filter.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
this,
have that on this, but.
Not after it's gone through a
But-
grader.
and then I got estimates for cleaning the fuel tanks. I got a bid. This is a bid I got.
Figure out what it was.
Yeah, it's algae. It's bio, it's,
So it's not gonna, it's not metal, it's gonna get in.
yeah,
They crack it with water.
yeah, so
So how do they get it out? They got
they have this.
algae scrubber or something.
This is who, they got a truck that comes in and they pour a product in 48 hours prior to scrubbing the tanks. And they have a big filter truck that comes in and they pump the fuel through a filter in a vacuum truck. And then they put it back in the tank and then they change filters in the truck again and recycle the fuel back through to get
The
the,
idea, they even cut a hole in it.
No.
It said,
yeah, but no.
they're not gonna have to do that. right? How much are they looking for? 10 grand,
That's Kubat's.
14,000.
Yeah. That's for that 14,000 there, and he's got, I just got them mixed up,
Oh,
but
we need to send these around?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
14,000 is for the use of fuel. They gotta fix the lid or we're gonna get shut down. And I got another bid,
4,000 is all the other one is.
Yeah,
What
and the
what
first-
does he not do?
and then this company that priorly bid is what they was gonna charge us, and you pass this around. So that's why I got another bid.
Really good.
Because that was a lot higher.
Yeah, here's the first
I
bid.
know you
Kubot
wanted
was 14,000.
14,000 is for the lids,
this is for the
Oh,
bucket repair.
repair.
that's why they were cutting holes. Like, you're talking
Yeah.
tanks and.
Yeah,
So this is the next.
That's a
thing you're
different
gonna do.
so I got a bid
I think
on,
we're out of control.
Yeah. Get the right,
That could be
the right
Okay, we're
title.
Going back to Seneca.
Seneca
which
is gonna
the
do
low
the,
bid.
is gonna do the flush tank. I'm in contact with Mike right now. So to get a date when he can come down and clean the tank.
Okay, vice 11,000.
Yeah,
Now, you said you were gonna reach out to see what the difference is and what, since there was a great difference in the cost of these.
I
bids,
did. He does the same thing.
he
I
does
talked
the
to
same
Mike
thing, he
yesterday.
takes that much cheaper.
Yep.
Quite a
And
bit cheaper.
Randy from McFarland Oil recommends him because he has service stations of his own. So I'm gonna go with that company. And on this bucket test, I got a guy looking at the bid today as we speak now to see if he can be cheaper and do the same thing.
Oh, on the next item.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stay on this.
Yeah.
one first.
All right, who do you want to talk to about
We're
first?
still talking about Seneca, is that correct?
Yes.
Seneca, and here is Core Power, which was the higher bid.
This is your decision,
So-
not ours, just for information.
Yeah. So you know where the money's going.
So I want to be able to charge 39% fuel charge for the stuff I do. How about you on the ranch side?
That'd be all right.
Wow,
How much was that bid, Vince, that you're going with?
3,000.
Almost.
3947.44.
don't quite get the $900 times 39%. Unless. I don't, it's weird. They included the chart on the back of 39% based on the price of fuel, but I don't know where the $900 comes up with. Is
The
that
fuel
flat?
charge.
Yeah, but then flat.
Yes,
So then why are they just charging us 39%?
Smaller amount from.
I'm assuming 100% rate would be $900 fuel charge.
Must be his mileage figure, how he's figuring it.
Why don't they just tell us the fuel surcharge is $351?
Yeah.
Marketing.
Cloudy transparency.
And this company's from.
Denver.
Denver.
Coming all the way down here.
And I'll get with one of you guys when I get the fuel bucket bid from the other company.
What's that?
I'll get with you guys when I get the bid from the other company today or tomorrow for the.
Next item, you go to again. We're still on the fuel,
Okay.
on the fuel tank.
Yeah. So they're gonna ship you the biocide. You
Yes.
dump it in, you
Yes.
fill the tank.
Yes,
We assume that's gonna mix it up
yes.
and then they come down.
Yep.
And you were gonna try to drain those tanks down.
No, this company here is opposite of
The other one.
the other company. He wants it as full as we can get it. So when they dumps this product in, they get rid of this stuff. It
Hits
mixes,
everything.
it mixes on the
it all.
sidewalls of the tank, the bottom of the tank, and breaks it up. And then when they go in there and
So
wash
they
it,
basically, they pump all of the fuel out.
run it through a
and
filter
filter it.
system. Yep.
So they're gonna pump 6,000 gallons.
They just
Run
return
it right back in.
run it back in, and then after you do the first procedure, then they change filters in this truck and they clean it again.
Cool.
Cause this is costing Road and Bridge a lot of money for fuel pumps and filters. One piece of equipment only had 40 hours on it, and we're putting $80 filters on it,
Plugging them up.
plugging them up.
Where did that material, that sample, where did it literally come from?
It come from, this sample come from Greater 9 because he was having problems out on the route. And so the mechanic went out and changed filters. And then the mechanics cut these open in the shop. And that's what it come out of.
So that material came from the filter in a grader,
Yeah,
not from the fuel tank of a grader.
The fuel tank went through the filter.
yeah. And this is also,
That means the fuel tank's probably.
Yeah,
to be
that's
cleaned.
what.
Yeah, that's
the
what-
Grader's fuel tank would have that material. in
yeah,
it as
they
well.
gotta clean it. Our mechanics have to wash it.
Well, they not just hold it out of the water.
Yeah,
They
they
just drain it.
drain it. Yeah,
Well, I think Bill was making the point. I'm not even sure we can compare it to the $14,000 one, but $4,000 doesn't seem like a
Doesn't
huge
seem right.
amount of expense to try. We don't know that it's gonna solve the problem, but it's best educated guess at this.
there's about 2 inches of sludge in the diesel tank. According to the guy that fixed the fuel system when they tested it.
Right.
So that's constantly in the fuel.
So out of that 3,900. 2,300 of it's labor and disposal. Which. Not sure what they're gonna dispose, they're gonna pump all that material back.
Well,
They
whatever,
filter out the stuff,
whatever.
clean their filters,
This stuff will be in their filter truck in their holding tank.
then go clean their stuff out.
Okay, let's move on to your bucket repair.
Okay,
What bucket repair?
okay, that's a spill bucket repair where they fill the diesel tank. So if moisture like rain or snow gets in, it drains it back into the tank system. But right now, the bucket is rotted out. So if it rains or snows and if there's diesel fuel remnants in the tank above and you fill it, it goes into the ground. Not into the tank.
So you're literally talking about a bucket on the fill spout
Yeah,
that collects the spillage.
yeah.
like moisture,
And it's,
snow, and rain.
it's rusted out. or
Yes.
Corroded out.
And if we don't fix it, the state can shut that system down.
When's the last time it was big?
I have no idea,
Yes,
Bill.
this is the one he was talking. He has one bid and now is reaching out for another bid. This is Kubot. This bid is for the 14,660.
The big bucket.
I'll show that to you and then
Big. They gotta cut the concrete,
They gotta tap it.
redo the, all the way down to the tank.
Oh, it's not up at the top.
No, it's all the way to where the tank
it
sits.
starts at the top.
Starts
Right
at the
there
top and
manhole
then goes all the way back down to
So it gets
the.
all the crap first, and
Yeah.
then go back into the tank
Or the ground.
or the ground, mostly the ground. They got a lot of work to do. They gotta dig it up, they cut it, they get the concrete away from them,
Yeah,
clean it out.
That is the other outfit you're,
same one that's doing the cleaning the tanks.
You know where the rust is? Or where it's rusted at?
Yeah, right at the surface where the filler cap is, about that, where the truck hooks onto it, the transport. It's rusted out about 6 inches down.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Well, it looks like they're bidding pretty inclusive.
Big detail.
You two gentlemen have prior knowledge of this, correct?
I was,
So I-
yeah, Vince
I didn't get-
contacted me on that.
I just heard about it.
To let me know that he had issues,
You mentioned it. the other
probably a
day.
couple of weeks ago, so.
And somewhere we get from 10,900 to 14,000.
Yeah, that was my question too, so.
Something they left out of it.
Listed in there.
Must have not got the whole picture. Pages aren't numbered.
Yeah, they're numbered and they're included, so.
That included them.
You might ask them about the difference.
Yeah, I already questioned them, so that's why I got another bid in.
So obviously this was a non-budgeted expense. Do you have money to cover
Yes,
that?
I talked to Braden yesterday. And I want to try to get it done this year, so I'm not hitting the budget for next year. Get all these done.
The 10,000 isn't the bottom line. It was everything above it makes it up. You know, if you add it up, they just told it over here.
Yeah, I don't know.
So all these are what he's buying. 10,000 was for install assembly,
That'd be the labor.
non-taxable installs and
Well, it wasn't the subtotal
No.
back page. Okay. Morning.
All right, so yeah, let us keep us informed when you get that other bid.
you got it covered though, right?
Yeah, I talked to Braden, so we're fine on money wise, so. Like I said, I want to get it done this year instead of next year.
And then you brought us, when you came in, you brought us your contract for next year with Upper Ark
Yes,
for your water consumption. So. You have a bottom line on that one?
90, well, as far as the expense,
Yeah.
$9,500,
$9,500. What did you spend this year?
$9,500.
So it's the same as last.
Yes,
You want to see that?
I think we had it digitally somewhere along the line, but,
Okay,
um,
these are just the signature pages, so I'll show Bill here in a second.
You got it.
And I think from your comment, you're hoping to have this signed today.
yeah, or tomorrow, because you're gonna be gone after today, so I can get it turned in.
and you have a pump station on the west end, upper end of,
Yeah, on the west end of Lake Louise.
is that gonna stay open all winter?
No, it's already pulled. Because of the coldness, we already spent $5,000 last year to repair the pump,
Yeah, you got it out of there.
and so we got it out before it broke it again.
So it's the lease up to 30 acre feet. Correct.
Yes,
And this back page with the chart on it, that's acre feet.
Yes,
That you're expecting to use those particular months.
yes,
And if we've already pulled the pump,
yes.
so January, February, March, you won't be using any.
Nope.
And
So where you're scheduled to use some there, you can roll that into the following months during the summer months.
Yes. It's metered weekly. Yeah.
do you then replace that water through Round Mountain or?
That's Upper Arts deal. I don't know where they replace the water, or where they pull it.
No, I'm saying if you pull the pump, you can't pump out of Lake. Louise.
We
Where do you
don't
get your
haul any
water?
water in the winter time because the Round Mountain is too expensive. Just can't haul.
Did you want to see this, sir?
That was my question.
Yeah, it's too expensive to pull from Round Mountain.
So your plan is not to buy water from Round Mountain.
No,
You know, they had a big conversation about changing this fill station right here by the sheriff's station to a non-potable water. I don't think they've done that yet, but that was supposed to drop the price significantly.
This renewed every year, and
yes,
it looks good to me.
Yeah, I would move to approve the lease contract with Upper Arkansas Water.
I'll second it.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor to approve the contract between Road and Bridge and Upper Arkansas Water Conservancy District. My tongue's not working, for the year of 2023. Any discussion on that?
And we pay them on our usage or is that a flat rate?
flat rate,
That's why it's the same this year.
flat rate.
It's like their contract with other users.
Yeah, just a flat rate.
So we can use it, all cost us more money.
Yeah, well, we use it so in the summertime,
Did you end up pretty much zeroing out this last year?
pretty close. Yeah. They did shut us down in July because we almost met our quota. We had to back down a little bit.
Yeah, as long as you're on top of the fact that we're not leaving a lot of lease money on the table.
No,
Because if we were, then we'd have to go back to it. We're gonna pay as we use it, not flat rate, but
yeah, one road took
still cheaper than what we were spending.
one road took 85,000 gallons.
And that way I didn't win,
No,
because they get their water from Florida. Okay, any other discussion?
None here.
All right.
On here.
Those in favor of approving the contract between Road and Bridge and Upper Ark Water Conservancy District, I'll get it right here by the end of the day. Signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. You notice we spent more time on the $3,900 contract than we did the 14,000.
hopefully that 14 will change after the day.
Yeah, hopefully another bid will be less money.
Yes,
And you're not committed to either or, just whichever's lowest.
yes.
So will they weld that new riser onto that tank or?
Tom, I don't know anything about it. That's out of my league.
Yeah, that'd be a little western dig down and expose the top of that fuel tank and after.
I think the fuel tank's got a coupler down there that is all
Goes in.
connects to.
Would make sense. If they're gonna weld it, let me know when, because I'll be on vacation.
Me too.
When we put new vents in our tanks in Wetmore, the first day they were supposed to be there, I had my good car and I parked it on the other side of the shop. The day they actually did it, I had my old truck and I parked it right next to the fuel house. It didn't work.
No. Anything else, Mr. Vince?
No, as soon as they get all the equipment from the sheriff's department and road and bridge, and I'll get things going on the selling the vehicles and equipment.
Did you have a conversation with Vernon about a vehicle?
Yeah,
He's gonna present something in the staff report today about that. Anything you wanna say?
you can pick
You
whatever.
know something he
wants.
doesn't know?
Well, yeah, but I
No,
can't.
He knows it. I'm just asking if he wants to say it now or later.
Some of them need some work. Lots of work. And I'll put that in the paper that what's wrong with them, so we're honest. So the public knows what they're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming that conversation is gonna be a little backwards. He's gonna say, this is what we wanna do, and we're gonna say, well, what's the road and bridge, the mechanic, think about that. Well, I'm asking you what you think about that before.
They're wore out, Tom. I mean,
No argument here.
there's some, Chris told me and Daniel, the mechanics, that could be anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 to just get them up to work.
That was on that contract.
Which,
Oh, what?
cheaper than buying another vehicle, but
You keeping it?
for good money and bad.
Yes, and got a lot of high mileage on them.
Almost 300. 280.
Yeah, in between 2 and 3.
And I guess our cursory question today is, you've seen your proposed budget
Mhm.
and any questions or anything?
I'm good with it. I make it work.
The one thing we're trying not to say in that statement is, how do you like it?
I'll make it work.
You had the right answer.
All right, sir, thank you.
Okay,
Come back anytime you don't have $18,000 worth of.
wait till 2024, but I'm not gonna say anything right now.
No, you're not. You just did.
So Vance, do you know anything about mail deliverers knocking over the mailboxes?
Oh,
Okay.
what, my wife hit something?
I don't know if it was your wife or not. The one went down. I'm sure
Thank you,
she,
sir.
I don't think it was her. I don't know.
I'll have to check the Jeep.
Check
see
with
if
her,
there's
get-
a dent in it or
Get her about
something.
it.
Go look at the view.
Yes.
You go look at the, there was a black mark on it.
I'll have to
Not
check
my
it.
mail.
Check her, Jen. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, that would bring Dorothy up.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are ya?
And we see a lot of you
I
lately.
know, what is up with
You're
that?
still employed with the county?
I hope so, am I? Guess I should ask you that before I sit
As
down.
far as I know. Yeah.
All righty, you guys got my report?
Haven't getting it pulled up two different things. I'm still on extension report, so.
You must be sleeping.
Got it.
Yeah,
When I was able to hit my right arrow and it took me right to
we
that.
get
You're getting good at that, huh?
the papers and I can keep.
Lucky.
Oh, okay. So far this month, we've done 7 septic inspections, 10 special conferences, and I've included meetings in that. Some of we've had quite a few meetings in the past month or this month. I guess past month would be the right way to say it. Compliance inspections, we're sitting at 5. We have 21 violation reviews, and in that I'm including letters that were sent out. So they've sent out a total of 18 letters in the month of November. And by that, I mean people without septics, building without a permit, just multiple violations that we're trying to stay on top of. I didn't administer any tests. I do have 4 people that I'm expecting to hear from to come test for their septic contractor license within the next month. Permits issued during this month, we've had 5 septic permits, which is down 10 from last year. And I'd like to contribute it to weather, but I really can't say why that's down, because the weather's been fairly nice. So we've been pretty lucky there. Our dwelling permits are the same as last year. Non-dwelling permits are down 11. And which brings our total zoning permits down by 11 total from last year. Septic permits from last year were down 22. which that tells me we're not building quite as much as we were last year. However, our dwelling permits are only down 3 from last year. Non-dwelling is down 37, so barns, except any kind of accessory building is down. Bringing our total down by 40 permits.
I wonder if that's, no way to probably really know, tied to the economy, tied to the Fed rate, who knows what's driving that.
Yeah, because I would have thought last year would have been lower because of the price of lumber, and lumber is kind of coming down, so it's not, I've been trying to figure that out and I really can't come to a definitive answer. Other than
Yeah.
everybody's worried about the economy.
Yeah, that bell curve may look a little differently. Maybe we have some lag time here in response to the building materials cost.
That
or,
could be.
you know. But it looks like if you take the numbers at face value, building is slowing down in Custer County.
Yes, it appears to be.
Well, this time of year too is kind of normal.
Yeah. Or it
It's
does
not-
slow down this time of year, absolutely. The zoning permit fees were down 13,000 from last year. Septic permits were down, the amount permit fees are down 5,000 from last year. Our use tax is up 20,000, almost 21,000. Other income is right about where it was last year, just down a couple thousand. Overall, we're minus $590.90, which is pretty good considering how much the building has slowed down.
You kind of glossed over one of those sets of figures.
And what was that?
That would be use tax, my God.
We're doing well, and it's
Let's see, that'd be almost 300% increase in use tax revenue.
we're doing well, and come by and watch Delana give a permit once and you'll hear how she presents the use tax. We've had no pushback whatsoever. Not that I know of to date. So it's been going really well.
No, I'm mistaken. From roughly 1,000 to 21,000, that would be a how many percent increase or fold increase? 20-fold increase, right?
Yeah. And we started that in when? August?
Do we need to take a
I don't know what happened here,
reader?
so. Do you need a break?
No, do we need to stop or shall we press on was my question. I'm good with pressing
I think
on,
we're
but
good.
other stuff for us from you?
I think we're pretty clear on all the reports there. This one kind of just summarizes everything that we just went over. The only other thing that's the end of my report.
Yes, less said, the better. You don't.
There we
you know
go.
what they say. Careful with what you ask. Careful
That's-
the answer you might get.
Sometimes too much isn't a good thing,
Yeah.
right?
So that's just your second one, just a monthly breakdown of all the different.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
I
much the
was gonna
same.
ask you a quick question. What was it? Delana, is that how you pronounce her name?
Uh-huh.
Are you training her to give the test?
To I'm sorry.
Administer the septic test?
Well, she would need to take the test herself, and
I
we've
think it's a
talked,
good thing to do.
I agree. We've talked about that. That way, if I'm ever out for whatever reason, she could still go out and do the septic inspections.
Not only that, but sometimes you're not there to give the test. But,
Very true.
that would
Very
be
true.
good because people,
Mhm. Yep.
and
And
that's been the practice a long time ago and most recently too. So.
yeah, and that's our goal this year. I did put in my budget training, so my thought was this year I'll do what training I can. There's quite a
Yeah.
bit now that you can do online.
Yeah.
And then next year I'll add her into doing all that training as well.
Cool.
So we're excited. She's very excited about that.
Any major issues that we need to be made aware of or anything?
I'm working with the gentleman with the a property owner out at the lake, working with Clint and Cliff. The other issue with the meat company, just, I think I needed to understand where my boundaries were, and I'd like to
Your note.
extend an invitation or go over and introduce myself to whoever is involved with this at Westcliff, the city of
idea.
Westcliff. I think it's important that we're all sending the same message.
Talk to Kathy Rice, answer your email, but Kathy Rice is the
What was the last name?
Rice.
REIS.
REIS. Kathy.
Thank you.
And she'll
She can point you
she'll
to the
point you
right.
to the right.
Okay.
because He runs the administrative stuff.
Okay.
with Mayor Winky.
She's the Jen over there.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
The brains of the operation.
Yeah,
There
she
you go.
operates it just like Jennifer does.
There you go. I did yesterday have a citizen come in who had recently purchased property, and I think we talked about this knowing it was gonna happen, and it happened. She came in seeking information about a property she just purchased. She was under the impression that she had purchased, if my memory serves me correctly, a 4-bedroom home and the septic set for 2. She was under the impression that she had purchased a home that had an apartment in the barn that was not permitted. Nor was the second septic system on that lot. So she's got quite a mess to deal with. By the time we went through and reviewed that entire file, and compared it to what she thought she purchased, she was in tears and
The
wanted to know what we could
realtor
do.
didn't know, or the title company or the
Yeah, I was gonna
inspection.
ask, was a realtor involved in it?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
Odd.
I told her that I wasn't able to advise her necessarily what to do from here. But she, I believe.
Where
will
was
be
it anyway? Out in the flats or up in the
In
mountains?
Wetmore.
Oh,
Don't look at
it's in
me.
your kingdom.
It was in Wetmore. I was surprised, yeah. The poor thing, and to give a little bit of history, is she lost her house in the Beulah fire. Most recent Beulah fire, so it was quite disheartening for her to have to go through what she's
Probably pretty
gonna.
expensive too. You bought this.
She paid it with the understanding that she had a second dwelling on her property.
So,
And she probably does, it's just not permitted.
It's not permitted, neither is the septic going to that.
there's only one septic out there.
There's 2 septics. The one that's for the house is not large enough for
For the house.
the bedrooms that they say they had. And the other one, we don't know,
Do they have a
because I
family?
have no permit.
Does she have a family in
Yes.
those 4 bedrooms? So there's a lot of use on it then.
That's
If there
debatable.
was 2 people, maybe there's a way to.
It sounds like it may be 2 people and a family periodically, but
It might be.
they had other plans for the home in the future and.
Yeah, oh, that's
You know.
So it's full blown another house, the second. structure.
It's part of the garage and that's turned in, has an apartment, a loft up on the top and then an apartment in the bottom.
so the garage is not a garage anymore.
It's garage / apartment,
So it's got a 2-story apartment on.
correct,
Yeah.
which we're seeing a lot of and none of it's
Buyer beware
permitted.
thing, huh?
Yeah,
And you're
And-
working with Clint.
Gonna have to
I
probably,
she was 5:30 in our office till almost 5:30 last night.
probably
so-
wouldn't be a bad idea, Dorothy, to put a letter from the department to all the realtors to say, it's your, how you're dealing with. We've had numerous incidences, blah, blah, blah. However you want to maybe work with Jennifer.
And I thought about that. I even thought about maybe just having kind of a
That's one of the realtors there.
meeting,
Yeah.
offering them to come and in an evening, one
That's
evening
another,
and
do both.
going through some of the issues that we're seeing. I think that would be a good thing. I don't know how I would get them all to come, but
You don't, it's up to them. If
Yeah.
they don't, they're in the lawsuit, not us, not you.
it was just sad. For the individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, and afraid we're gonna see more and more of that.
If you
And I
really-
did reach out to the previous owner and called them, but they have yet to call me back because I wanted to ask.
They're
My
probably in
question
the
to
Bahamas.
them mainly was the septic, because I had no permit for the second septic whatsoever. So
For the second septic or tying in the second.
it was a
building?
full septic system.
Infiltrator field or, how do you know it was, I mean, it wouldn't be platted, it wouldn't be on the drawings, it wouldn't be
I
in the.
don't know. I
permit.
don't know what size
So you don't even
tank.
know what it is, really.
No,
You just know it's dumping in the ground somewhere.
just based on what she was told.
So you haven't seen it yet.
I have not seen it.
So you don't know if it's got a clean out or anything.
No. No. So she's gonna work with. Ed Lyons installed the first septic, so she's gonna work with him and see, I believe she left with his number.
He wouldn't have put another one in if he.
No, he wouldn't have done it without a without.
Somebody
a
said, well, I
permit.
can do that. They watched him put it in or something.
Possibly,
Lots of people with backhoe.
yep. And you can rent them.
Any other good news?
I think that's about it.
I asked Clint this morning if he would touch base with you on this whole breezeway issue
Okay,
and look at including some language in the zoning resolution that, whatever
Yeah.
that ends up looking like.
will that be a planning and commission
I
decision?
think it would be for them to recommend to us to
Okay.
include it or not include it or
Right.
whatever that language is.
Sure.
That's how I
It's
planned
a
on,
carport or a breezeway, what, can you park a trailer in there and live in
yeah,
it? Sort of.
for sure.
And then Mr. Kevin's gonna ask you our question of the day.
Standard question. You have seen your proposed budget.
I have, Braden's been great going through it with me. Bouncing things off since it's my first budget review, so. I do want to thank you guys for the part-time compliance officer. I would like to share something with you in regards to that. So maybe down the road, it may not be a part-time, you may consider if we can prove that my numbers are even close. You may consider at least temporarily doing it at a full-time position. So I worked up some numbers and shared them with Braden. If we found 10 structures and got them permitted, accessory buildings at 800 square feet, and got them permitted, we would be looking at $18,000. If we had 10 post-construction small cargo containers, not the large ones, just the small ones that tried to go small, not try to over exaggerate here at all. If we got 10 of those, and I know there's a ton of them out there that are not permitted, we could bring in $3,600. If we had 5 post-construction 1,500 square foot dwellings or accessory buildings, we'd be looking at $33,750. So just having somebody paying attention and following up on these issues, we could easily make in the planning and zoning department an easy $55,000.
So can you do that every year after year? How would you project that? 'Cause it
That, I
has to
guess,
sustain though. You can't just do it one shot and then fire.
I understand, yeah, I
That's a
completely,
good proposal to look at. Right now, the budget doesn't include that. And we
Right,
Can't
and
change it now.
it includes half of that.
Right.
So I guess,
Some
I
food for
think,
thought.
I think easily that half-time person can make that amount. Easy
Well,
with what's out there today.
that's great.
But I just wanted to throw that at you. I was shocked when I did the numbers, because when Reed and I initially sat down and talked about it, it was like, give me some numbers to quantify the position. So those are the numbers I came up with, and I did low numbers. I mean, I didn't do a 3,000 square foot house, a 6,000 square foot house or anything. There's a lot of 3,000 square foot accessory buildings being built out there.
Yeah.
That are not necessarily always permitted. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. I was kind of shocked when I looked at the numbers, so.
Probably a little early in the process for you to answer this question, but would you think half-time code enforcement person would be so many days a week, or work in the mornings, or work in the afternoons, or flexible?
I could really be flexible with that, and Delana and I have talked about where we would put that person. I believe some of the changes that we've made and, you know, kind of organizing things, there's room for two people to sit at that front desk. And I kind of would see that person possibly helping her out in some ways, if during the summer months, at least.
So 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
Because as we've come to learn, 0.5 doesn't necessarily mean 20 hours a week. In the budget scheme of things.
Right.
So, but you're looking at a full half-time.
And I do have money in there for contract labor, which I'm hoping I won't need.
Which I had circled, was gonna ask you about,
Well,
$10,000. We don't need to get in the weeds on that, it's really not our job, but
I know.
Braden has to answer for that, not necessarily.
well, I think last year we kind of got caught off guard, and I do believe that until I get through every one of the septic courses that I can take, there are times that I still call on Dennis. I have not had him go out and do a full inspection, but I will. I guess I wanted that in my back pocket in case I needed that.
Good deal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
See you again.
Have a good day. Sir.
Gentlemen, all good.
Yes,
Bobby,
I think we better keep pressing on.
you're up.
Yes, indeed.
No, I'm just saying.
Let's move on to the airport, sir.
Report.
Good morning, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Like your time with airport stuff.
Right, that stuff. Let me get my thing together here. Stand by. Okay. Airport. We'll start with the November fuel sales. Total gallons sold 207.3. That brought in revenue of $1,295.63. No fuel delivery this month. That leaves us 2,922.2 gallons in the tank. Update on the fuel tank status. On the 9th or 10th, excuse me, Division of Oil Public and Safety folks, they're going to come out and actually calibrate the tank. To do that, we have to transfer the existing fuel from the old tank to the new tank. That had happened 3 or 4 days before they calibrate it. We'll move the card reader over and associated equipment. And, a couple of days beforehand. So the tank will be down probably 2 or 3, 4 days. Now the biggie, the fuel sales in January are typically slow.
That'd be like the 11th through the 14th or something.
Well, no,
Yes,
we have to have the fuel in the tank by the 9th or 10th.
right.
So maybe the 5th, 6th, 7th.
What are you gonna do before?
Oh, yeah. So yes, this way they can pump it and calibrate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, state electrical inspector comes out, does his final. Everything should be good there. All the state permits for the fuel tank farm are completed, approved. So realistically, on the 11th or 12th, we could start using that tank for all future fuel sales. So that's good news. And everything else is just flowing smooth. I don't have much more.
Guys ready for your meeting with Caitlin on the 19th? Looking. What she got going?
For the
The whole big picture she.
for the grant and all that. Yeah,
Other people in the grant. She's got going.
and apparently there's some maybe grant coming our way, I guess.
That's why she's coming.
We're gonna talk about that on the 19th.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do that since you've been. I didn't know you're there.
He snuck in right
Aiming
over.
behind your back. He's backing you up.
Yeah, we're ready for that.
Yeah, good.
So maybe you wanna talk about that, I don't know the details on that.
Well, the Department of Aviation's coming down. They want to come take a look at, I remember we were a beta test case for the runway improvement. With putting the top coat on it. And we're gonna talk about the plan to execute that, the second phase of that in the first part of 23.
March timeframe roughly.
And, you know, as the weather permits, and then also redoing the numbers just a little bit. And we're supposed to have a second coat on the numbers after they do the next, I'll call it slurry, it's not slurry, but.
Crack
it is
seal,
top coat
basically.
and a crack seal. And we're also gonna pursue the capital improvement programs, look at the out years and make sure we're all on the same sheet. But the big thing was the DOA wants to come down and take photos and showcase what we've done out here at the Silverwest Airport throughout the state. So
Yeah,
if they can get in between the winds on the 19th of December. they're
Yeah,
planning
yeah,
on flying
that,
that.
yeah. But they'll be here regardless, I think.
Yeah, I think they'll drive.
They'll drive if it looks bad.
That's what I've heard.
So you're meeting on the 19th about the runway.
And capital improvement programs in general to understand, you know, all the nuances. There
Because you had to
was,
move things around because
yes,
of
there was-
putting this slurry on early.
That's right, and the DOA has an influx of funds because of the flowage fees at DIA. It was unprecedented during the COVID times.
Hardly.
So they had a lot of funding. Wouldn't that be a nice problem to have? And they're looking for ways to allocate that. We weren't due to get any in 23, but we're going to relook that and see what, if anything, might be available to pursue our planned capital improvement program.
Which is that fuel farm initially.
We had the fuel farm and the associated ramp improvement there around the fuel farm as well.
Be interesting to see if they can squeeze ramp repair in there.
Well,
I
that's.
know Dollar.
That's one of the things that we're going to try to discuss to see what is available, because if we are able to pull in the Jet A tanks that we would like to get, that we've talked about in here quite a bit, is we'll probably need to put a concrete pad in front of that because the aircraft are heavier.
Yeah.
So we would need to see what's available, if you need anything from DOA. And I started this new program. I briefed it in here back last spring, that they have never participated in fuel farms and fuel expansion in the past. But with this increased funding that they have relooked that, and it's for the first time it's available in the small airports as well.
Were you guys planning on being here for the discussion on the grant for the airport?
Well, certainly can be.
I didn't know. Plan on
Now, the way I read that agenda, I thought it was today, but have I missed it?
today. It's
Just
on this
today.
afternoon
Okay.
or
It-
whenever.
We-
Yeah.
We put a placeholder in for the matching funds on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, certainly happy to speak to that. Is there a notional time frame or? Sit in the hall.
After lunch.
Yeah, I'd hate for you to have to wait. I guess it's gonna be an hour, hour and a half, or we. Maybe, well, it'll probably be longer than that. At least an hour and a half. Huh?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
because we're gonna go till right at noon on their reports here. And then we'll start off when that's fourth going down, but
Time we want to start after lunch to put that in. there.
somewhere between at least 12:30 and 1, I imagine.
Okay, the elevator speech in that, commissioners, is that it's a unique opportunity for us. We've talked about this Jet A, how it helps search and rescue. You know, perhaps get military helicopters to come in.
life flight, et cetera, et cetera. We talked about the benefits of the Jet A and some of our customers out there as well. And the short takeaway is it's a unique opportunity because this funding has not been available by the state. It's 50/50 match. So that's one of the reasons we want to pursue this.
See you when.
Yeah, I would guess. I mean, we could call you when we thought we were getting close. You live a ways out.
Right.
10:30 and that's an hour and a half, 12, 2 hours probably.
Are we gonna?
We could,
Break for lunch or work for lunch?
We could move it to the end of the.
Oh,
But you
I
don't.
would be up for pushing through, but that would be open to debate.
Depends on who's available to talk.
So
12:30.
Depends on whether you wanna go have lunch or not.
Well, but when are these people coming for human service? What are their, what's their expectations to hit this agenda? Jennifer?
Well, I would.
I've already
assume-
provided the MOU, and it's just, they just need to decide.
Or not, nobody's gonna talk about it.
I don't know.
That's the standard one we do every year
Yeah.
for human services.
And the
It is.
childhood development thing we talked about, so.
I'm okay with working through the
Yeah.
agenda without a lunch break today, but we should probably talk about that.
I'm good.
When I looked at the agenda, I assumed we'd take a break after the staff reports and then come back
Yeah.
after lunch with the rest of the agenda, but I'm okay doing something different.
and that would be good either way.
Up to you.
So
That, Mr. I may suggest, I think, based on the email that you received yesterday, you may want to have a little executive session for some legal advice today. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've got an appointment at 3:30 I need to attend, and so I was hoping we could do the executive session after. Well, that's up to you.
After the staff reports,
Yeah, if we can get that done. I may have to leave a little bit early.
do you have to travel out of town? for
No,
that?
no. It's, here.
So I would be open to that suggestion, and that would give anyone other than those directly affected by the executive session a chance to grab something to eat.
Maybe, might I suggest, if nothing else, we utilize the vending machine and do a working lunch and the executive session after the staff reports. 5 minutes to get up and grab something to drink and a snack and go into the executive session. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Do we need a motion to that effect?
Probably do, but we ought to
We'll
finish up
finish
this.
this off, okay,
Finish this out.
yeah. You guys have been, I'm sure, in contact with Braden and everything on the budget.
Yes, I just stopped by and talked with him again this morning.
JC's all up to snuff. Pretty much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he is.
Very definitive answer.
We've talked about it quite a bit. We spent at our last airport board meeting this past Thursday, we spent quite a bit of time on the budget. JC was there, and I think we've got a good plan going into 23.
Braden said it was a good meeting.
Yes.
Braden did. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, we upfronted the fuel this year, so we hopefully won't run into the issues we've had in the past.
Yeah, the key to it is this new tank, which has been a long and winding road as the fields.
That'll be good to get that done.
It sure will. It sure will.
And Heather Tom sent you were copied on it there, and I called her back and asked her for another option, so let's see if something comes in again.
Okay.
But this is just to discuss and some bigger picture
And we are.
on our meeting with what's her fuss.
Commissioner meeting. May I ask?
Yes, just to clarify on that, so everybody has a good picture, is anytime we try to do the airport improvement, of course, this body has to approve what we're doing. We have to work through Armstrong Engineering. which creates the technical advice and the technical presentation to the Department of Aviation. And the Department of Aviation then reviews that and say, okay, it looks like a good plan. Here's the funding to be available. Back to you, Custer County, to see if you
You wanna do?
participate in the grant.
Okay.
And that Armstrong Engineering adds the technical expertise in the process so that you just don't have an airport going anywhere. We're gonna build a control tower out here out of.
Well, or it'll be like, the state saying, okay, do it, and we get Joe Blow out of Timbuktu to put in a foundation that doesn't hold up. Okay, we'll see you this afternoon.
It is.
It's some time to be determined or.
Probably around,
I'm gonna say,
I when it's in Pueblo, I need to
What time?
reschedule. It's gonna be about 1 o'clock.
So, yeah, well,
You
Up
wanna
to you
just
guys.
check this one?
Hmm?
Yeah.
I would guess it'll be 1:30 most
yeah,
likely.
leave at the earliest.
Probably won't be an issue. And it's
so
not a requirement that you be here. I just wanted to know if you were planning on it.
Well, we're happy to be here to help explain, understand, and that type of thing. And just,
It's good because then we all understand we're talking the same thing. You're on board with what's going on.
I mean, it's a $250,000 ask, right, or 200.
225,000.
225, yes.
Was it worth justifying?
It's good, it's worth your time.
Well, it's just rescheduling.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
If you can.
And we can do it another time. Yeah.
no, let's try to figure it out.
We'll see you later.
We're not signing the budget until the 15th, but it'd be nice. We wanna okay this placeholder.
I mean, if you feel like you want to be here and you can't today, we could postpone it.
Well, let's try to do it
Seriously.
today. So everybody's talking about it, and we'll have to refresh our memories.
That'd be good.
All right, you guys know how to get in touch with me, so.
I got I'll text both you and Bob.
Okay,
You're gonna be near a text, won't you?
glue it to my head.
alrighty. Okay.
There's
There he
Mr.
is.
Lockhart.
Right on schedule.
Top of the morning, yeah, you've been sitting out there for an hour waiting.
No.
Brian.
Oh, gosh, how are you?
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
It's good.
Oh,
Think you're something, don't you?
yeah.
So, you've seen us many times, and I know you've seen Brian or Braden many times, Brian, right? And so, and I'm gonna ask you this question first. Are you happy with your budget?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah. Yeah, no, everything looks fine. Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
questions?
No. I looked it over this morning again, just to make sure.
I think the only question we had, there was a well or something that was a question.
Oh, yeah, we were just gonna postpone that till 2024. We don't necessarily need it right away, so. Yeah. That's kind of what
And the cost was something.
I never did actually get an estimate. So, but it's not crucial right now, so. I think it was a good idea just to hold off on it.
Good to think about it.
Everything's going okay out there, except for our loader is broke down again. But John Deere just delivered us a loader yesterday that we can use.
You did get it, huh?
Yeah. So,
Same sign.
yep, so. They're gonna come get it at some point. I'm not sure when, so. We can use ours until.
Why don't they take it back?
Well, because. The main reason is
They want to charge more money.
No, they're not gonna charge us for it. I don't think they are anyway. But we can't move our roll off at the public throws trash in without our loader, our own bridge loader. And so. We wanted just to have our loader. We can use our loader. We just can't use it all day long,
Right.
But we can start it up in the morning, empty the roll off and then park it. Until road and bridges loader gets fixed.
I see.
Or if they want to come get it, then we can use our international. And just back it in there and put trash in it. So I told them, go ahead and get it scheduled. That way you know. We get it fixed, get it back. I don't want you welding the hook up on the front.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that. Me and Ryan did. He's like, "No, I don't know."
don't think so.
Yeah. So anyway, we can manage if they have to come get it. We are in the new trench. We've got the approval, and we got the CQA, letter, and so we started filling it last week. Other than that, I really don't know.